Hello parents, hello students. Hey, this is Mr. Kissinger. I'm back doing another video, this time on multiplying fractions. And we're going to learn two different ways here. The first method is the way the book introduces this and gets kids thinking about multiplying fractions. And parents, this is something that's quite a bit different than the way we learned it. So if you're looking at this and it looks really foreign, I put this on the video just so you would have an idea how this is working. And then at the end I'll show the more traditional way. So here we go. Let's jump in again, like always, with some problems. First one is 1/3 times 1/4. So we're going to make a rectangle here. And with my rectangle, I'm going to cut it up into thirds. And I'm going to cut it into fourths going the opposite direction. Now, the first thing I need to do is I'm going to shade in 1/3. So I'm going to shade in this 1/3 here. Second, I'm going to shade in the 1/4. I'm going to use a different color pen here, or different color so you guys can see this. Now what I'm looking for is things that have been shaded twice. Right now there's only this one box. So one box has been shaded twice out of 3 times 4, 12 total. 1/3 times 1/4 is 1/12. Let's go to another problem here. Our next one, we're going to do 3/5 of 1/2. Again, we're going to do this the way the book starts us with learning this. So 3/5. Again, it makes no difference which way you draw your lines here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sections. And I have 2 sections here. Again, I'm going to shade 3 now. 3 of these 5. So there's 1/5, 2/5, 3/5, and then for 1/2, doesn't matter which one you pick. I'll pick this one down here. Now I'm looking for things that have been shaded twice. This one, this one, this one. So 3 of them have, out of a 5 by 2, 10 total. So 3/5 of 1/2 is 3/10. So now let's jump into the ways that students have been learning this since then. So we get them past the slow drawing box methods, and we get them more into the quicker, and they start to realize, and they start to notice for themselves that, hey, this is just multiplying straight across. So 3 times 2, so let's write this over here, 3/4 times 2/3, and just multiply straight across. 3 times 2 is 6, and 4 times 3 is 12. Well, I know that 6/12 is the exact same as 1/2. So 3/4 times 2/3 is equal to 1/2. So now, this problem also is a good one in that it shows another method that we've been learning in class, which is sometimes before we even multiply, we can start to look and see, can I simplify this before I even start? So 3 is on top and 3 is on bottom here. I have a 3 in the numerator and 3 in the denominator. And whenever I have that, when I'm multiplying, because of the commutative property, I could just switch things around. So I could switch that 3 and the 4 and just change them around. But what we've been learning is, to save us time, we can just cancel these out. 3 divided by 3 is just 1. And notice up here, I have 2 and I have a 4 down here. They're both even numbers, so I can divide 2 by 2, and that gives me a 1. And 4 divided by 2 is 2. So now I'm left with 1 over 2. I didn't even have to multiply this one to get my answer. My answer just popped out. 3/4 times 2/3 is equal to 1/2. Now it doesn't always work out that way, but a lot of times you can cancel before you even start. Our next example is something a little bit trickier. In this case, we have a whole number here. And so I really appreciate most of my students are realizing, well, whole numbers you can just put right a 1 underneath there. So if you want to just multiply this straight out, you would have 120 divided by 8. So that's one way you can do it. 120 divided by 8, and 8 goes in 120 15 times. So our answer is going to be 15. But there's a faster way. Again, we can cancel before we even multiply. So 40 is divided 8 goes into 40 5 times. So I'm going to put a 5 there, and 8 divided by 8 is 1. So now I'm just left with 3 times 5, which is 15 all over 1, or my answer, 15. One last example. So, in this example, we have two mixed numbers and we're multiplying them to each other. So, let's take a look here. We learned a couple different methods, one of which is we can multiply the 2 times the 5 and the 2 times the 1/8 and the 1/2 times the 5 and 1/2 times the 1/8. We learned that method. It's works for some kids, but honestly, for almost everybody, this simpler way will make a lot more sense. So, we're going to change this fraction, this mixed number, into an improper fraction. 2 times 2 plus 1. So I have 5 parts out of 2. So 5 pieces that are too big. So I'm now going to multiply 5 and 1/8. I'm going to make that into an improper fraction. So 5 times 8 plus the 1 is going to be 41 all over 8. Now I'm looking for ways I can simplify in this case, and I'm not really seeing anything. 5 up top, and there's no multiples of 5 down here. 41 is a prime number, and so I don't really see anything down here that I can do. So in this case, I just have to multiply. 5 times 41 is going to be 205, and 2 times 8 is 16. So I have 205 sixteenths. Well, let's do some division here. 16 goes into 20 one time. Bring down that 5. 16 goes into 45. And that 3 is a little too big, so it's going to be 2 there. So 32 and 13. My remainder is 13, and this is about the only time we ever use that remainder in from elementary school. My answer is now going to be 12. My remainder 13, and my pieces were 16ths. So 12 and 13 sixteenths. Not a happy number, but that's alright. We don't always get those sometimes in life. So I hope this was helpful. There were 2 ways. I definitely recommend multiplying straight across for multiplying fractions. It's definitely the easiest. If you have questions, please ask in class. Thank you. Have a great day.